So it is Friday, May the 2nd, the day before I attend Animazement for the first time. Animazement is a pretty large convention that happens around in my area, but I've never attended Animazement for the fact that I just don't really like anime. However, this year I have recently made a bunch of cosplay friends who are local, and they're all interested in attending Animazement, so I'm gonna attend it myself. I'm just gonna be going for Saturday just because I've already spent so much on tickets for GalaxyCon that's happening in July that I really can't afford to go any more days. And honestly, I think that one day at a convention is enough for me. I tend to get pretty tired out by these big social events very quickly. So I'm gonna be attending as Spider-Gwen tomorrow, just because she's one of my recent cosplays that I put together, and also because a lot of my friends really like the way I look as Spider-Gwen, so it'll be fun. I think it also helps that Spider-Gwen is like an animated character, so, you know, at least I'm somewhat on par with the theme of the convention. So yeah, I'm gonna take you guys along with me on my journey for my first time ever attending Animazement. Okay, so it is Saturday, the day of the convention. As you can see, I already have my wig and my makeup on. I just need to put on my costume. I ordered my ride down to the convention center, and I gotta get in line to get a badge. Okay, so I just arrived at the convention center. Holy shit, my wig is frizzy as hell. I gotta get in line to get my badge because on the website, for some reason, they wouldn't let you buy single day passes. The website said that if you want to buy single day passes, you just have to get in line to actually buy the pass whenever you're at the convention center, so that's what I'm gonna do. I don't know why, but the only way you could buy a ticket in advance is if you got the entire weekend. So, okay, so I'm in the convention center. I've been walking around with my buddy William for a couple hours. Obviously got the badge. We have some more people in our cosplay group that we're gonna meet up with. And then we'll probably go and get lunch here soon. Okay, so we just got back from lunch. Me and my group of my friends went to Mickey D's. Now we're back at the convention center. We're probably gonna play some games because they have a whole arcade room. My fingers are a bit stained from lunch, but we're gonna play some games, and then I'm probably gonna go over to the artist alley and get some artwork, which will be fun. So yeah, right after getting Mickey D's, me and my group decided to head up to the arcade section that the convention organized. I have to say, in comparison to the previous years that I've attended conventions at this con center, I thought that this was a lot more organized. Previous years, whenever I'd attended GalaxyCon and Animates that are also held at this convention center, I felt that things were a little bit claustrophobic. And don't get me wrong, there was still a lot of people at this convention, but the way that they had things organized just felt a lot more spacious, and I really appreciated that they had the entire arcade in its own little area. They had a lot of different games, most of them just being Japanese-based games, particularly anime-based things, which I didn't really understand, but it was fun seeing people play nonetheless. And then we decided to play some Just Dance, and while we were doing this, there was this really rude guy who just came up and started dancing on us. So yeah, this is just a reminder that just because me and my friends are in cosplay doesn't mean that we're here to entertain you. We are people, and we deserve our own space. So yeah, cosplay does not equal consent. Anyhow, we decided not to let this kill our vibe, and we headed up over to a panel that one of William's friends was hosting. It was essentially going over Japanese commercial media and just how funny and weird and kind of awkward they are sometimes. The next several hours were honestly really chill. Me and my group decided to walk around the artist alley and the vendor hall, and we met up with some other con goers as well as some other friends from previous conventions, and we took some photos and kind of just hung out and talked for a while. Whenever it got later on in the evening, Kiri and our friend Miranda ended up going back to the hotel room, so it was kind of just me, William, and Brendan. And then we attended the costume contest and watched this really awesome performance by these dancers.
And the last thing that we did to wrap up the evening is we did end up going to the rave. We stuck around for like maybe, I want to say like 30 or so minutes at the rave. This is my first time ever doing any sort of rave, literally ever. It was a lot of fun, but unfortunately I didn't take any photos or videos just because I didn't exactly have my hands free. This costume just makes it a little difficult to record.
So it's the next day, I'm back home. I just wanted to attend Saturday for Animazement. I believe the convention technically starts on Thursday and it ends today on Sunday, but because I spent so much money buying tickets for GalaxyCon, I could only afford to go one day. And also, typically I only attend one day at conventions just because I get socially exhausted very quickly. I tried looking around for some Star Wars themed content because that is currently my hyperfixation ever since the Mall cartoon show. But alas, I wasn't really able to find, at least whenever I looked around, I wasn't able really to find any merch dedicated to Darth Maul, which I guess isn't too unsurprising because this is Animazement. The focus of it is really on anime and animated things. But I did run into some really awesome Mandalorian cosplayers that I got their social medias for, which I thought was very fun. I would have gotten more footage of kind of just walking around and showing, showing off some of the really cool cosplayers we ran into. But I didn't really have my hands free because of my Spider-Gwen cosplay. So I had to use a stylus pen anytime I wanted to take photos or videos, and it was just awkward and like really inconvenient. So that's okay though, because I am gonna be returning there for GalaxyCon. Not to mention, that is where my last convention vlog was at the Raleigh Convention Center. If you guys remember, my last convention vlog was Animate. That was actually this year. So it's pretty much the same setup, a little bit different, a little bit bigger, a little bit more people, but you guys get the gist of what the convention center looks like. But it was really awesome nonetheless. I had never been to a rave before. Granted, this was more of like a family-friendly sort of rave. Like there was no alcohol, there was nothing like that. They didn't need to check our IDs for us to go in. They did, however, stop us and not let us in with any bagged items, unless we had like $3 to pay them, which I thought was kind of a scam, but okay. So yeah, the rave was very fun. I was very hot and very, very sweaty, but I didn't feel claustrophobic dancing around so many other people. I did not get hit by anyone. I don't think I hit or touched anyone. So everyone was very respectful on the dance floor. It was very cool. I think it was, about as good as your first time rave could be, especially at a cosplay convention. So yeah, after the rave, we were like, okay, we're tired, and we headed home. The convention on Saturday technically goes on until 2 a.m., but, I'm not going to stay up until 2 a.m. I'm sorry, I'm an old lady. 2 a.m. is too much. I would really like to show you guys some of the things that I got at this convention. Again, I didn't get a whole lot. Really tried not to spend a whole lot of money on anything, but I did get some pretty cool goodies. Well, technically, I actually got these yesterday. Whenever I went and saw the Mando and Grogu movie, I actually went as Darth Talon, so these are my proof that I went and watched the movie in 3D IMAX, which was so awesome, an incredible experience. Don't listen to what the haters and the critics are saying. That movie is actually very good. I did have this little girl come up to me. I think she was cosplaying maybe Hatsune, but she was quite young, but she handed me this little packet of Pokemon stuff, and that was very sweet. So we have a sticker. I have no idea who this is. I have never been good at Pokemon. I've never gotten into it. But we got Water Gem, Water Gun, my mistake. We got Double Draw. We got Heart Breath, that's an interesting one. We got Incessant Onslaught, don't know if that's the character's name or whatever. And then we got this thing, I guess, where I can redeem some Pokemon cards, but I don't play Pokemon, I never have. But nevertheless, I think that this is going to be a very good little souvenir, so I'm going to put it with my other goodies. This is the Argus that I was talking about where I got my Rebecca Chambers keychain at. They have a lot of different Silent Hill and Resident Evil stickers and keychains and just like fan art. Here's what the back of their card looks like, so if you guys want to check them out, I think I'll probably end up visiting them, or if they have their own website, I believe they do. I'm gonna check out their website and maybe purchase some things, you know, like maybe for like my friend's birthday, I'll get them, you know, like some Resident Evil merch because my cosplay group, we're all fans of Resident Evil. So this is actually my friend Brendan's little social media card, networking card. He says the QR code doesn't work for some reason, but this is what the back of it looks like because he wants to get into doing illustrations and maybe even become a vendor at one of these conventions. So if you want to maybe check out his work, I'm sure he'd certainly appreciate that. This I actually got yesterday whenever I went to the premiere of Mando and Grogu. I ran into two gentlemen who were a part of the 501st. If you're not familiar with like Star Wars or what the 501st is, they're essentially like an elite group of cosplayers that are entirely dedicated to producing screen-accurate costumes of various official Star Wars characters. That, to me, is really cool. I certainly don't think I could ever get into like the 501st or do anything like that, just because I work a lot of the times on a budget, and I typically don't have the budget for doing screen accurate stuff. And honestly, pretty much all of like the Star Wars cosplays I'm planning are gonna be based from like the Clone Wars or the Rebels cartoon shows, so I don't really know how screen accurate I can be with that, so. But here are my favorite goodies that I got at the convention. I forgot which merchant I got this from, but I got this little Ahsoka keychain from I believe this is from the Clone Wars cartoon. I really love this outfit. I think this might be the version that I end up cosplaying as, because I do kind of want to cosplay Ahsoka. Here's my Animazement badge, by the way. I tried to write Gwanda as like a reference to the first movie when Gwen introduces herself to Miles Morales, but my handwriting is so terrible. You guys can laugh at me in the comments now. When I was on the rave floor, I had this gentleman come up to me and he handed me these two ribbons to put on my badge. This is the first time I've ever heard of badge ribbons. I don't know, maybe I'm still a newbie when it comes to cosplay conventions. But all day long, I had people coming up to me saying that they're collecting ribbons on their badge and they needed a photo with me in order to like get another ribbon. I guess it was like some sort of scavenger hunt or something. I wish I would have known about that, or at least understood it better later on, because I definitely would have wanted to participate in that. But yeah, I got one that says Zoe Hunter and then Maria or Myra Hunter. I don't really know who these characters are. Apparently they're characters in like the K-pop Demon Hunter movie, which I've seen people talk about it online, and I've seen a lot of my friends cosplay from it. I've never watched it because I don't really get into K-pop, but I hear it's very good. Maybe I'll sit down and watch it. And last but not least, here is the Rebecca Chambers keychain that I got. It is so freaking cute. They had two different versions of this keychain. They had one where she was like hung up on one of the little hooks from Dead by Daylight, which was super cute. That's the one my friend William ended up getting. I decided to get the full body just to like make myself different, I guess. So the back of it, we have Rebecca in the classic Resident Evil costume with the red headband and like the full green outfit. And then on this version, and then On the front, we have the remake version. So she has her little choker, and then she has like the remake outfit. And I thought that was such a cool, small little detail. I really appreciate that. And I love the purple, the green, and the red. Well, I guess it's kind of pink. But the herbs behind her I thought were very cool. So this is a very pretty keychain. I'm definitely gonna hold on to this badge. I don't know if I'll keep the keychains on the badge. I'm kind of hesitant to put them on my house keys just because my other little keychains that were on my house keys ended up getting scratched up. So I'm not sure if I'll do that, but. And last but not least, this is actually a gift that my friend William ended up giving me. He said that at the last convention he attended, someone was giving away like DC prints and stuff, and they ended up giving him Batgirl, which is hilarious because if you guys know me, you know that I am a huge Batgirl fan. I love Barbara Gordon. This is from the Burnside comics, which are probably the best Batgirl comics out there. So I'm definitely gonna need to get like a frame or something and hang this up. But yeah, that was all the goodies that I got at Animazement this year. I had a really good time. I'm definitely gonna try and get more footage for my next convention, which is gonna be GalaxyCon in July. If you're gonna be in the Raleigh, North Carolina area and you plan on attending GalaxyCon, I'm gonna be there Saturday and Sunday. I'm not sure how long I'll be there. I know that I have 2 celebrity photo ops that I already have tickets for on Saturday that I'm going to go and do. So Saturday, I'm probably just gonna be standing in line the entire day. So you might not see me, but Sunday I will be walking around. I plan on walking around as Ashley Graham. So if you're familiar with that cosplay and you see me, don't be shy, come and say hi. I did not mean for that to rhyme. But that's gonna do it for this vlog. I hope you guys had as much fun watching this as I had fun attending this convention. And until next time, I'll see you guys around.